Hello everybody, you're welcome to my baking class for beginners. This period that we're all home, the period of a lockdown, we should get busy. We should get ourselves occupied. We shouldn't sit and think and worry about tomorrow. Let's put our tomorrow in God's hands. I'm sure you have one or two hobbies that you've always wished that you had time to pursue. Probably you like to sew and you have not had time. Probably you like to bake and you have not had the time. I've decided to revamp my baking skills. I learned baking while I was in Queen's College in the 70s to the 80s and have been baking ever since. And baking is something that brings out your creativity, especially when you start to ice and when you start to decorate your cakes. So I'm going to start my first baking video today, the 16th of April 2020, and I want to introduce myself. My name is Mrs. Funmilayo Onafowokan. I am an accountant, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm also an educationist. I have a school. I'm also into both primary and vocational education. So now I want you to join me on my first baking class. Thank you. I've washed my hands. Now, when it comes to baking, there are certain rules that you need to observe. First of all your ingredients must be in the proper measurements. Do not overestimate or underestimate. Follow the recipe in your recipe book or in your cookery book. Number 2, all your utensils must be specifically for baking. Do not use your baking spoon to make eba or to make amala. The smell is going to stay on it and it's going to affect your cake. All your bowls must be for baking. Do not use them for any other thing. Store them separately in a dry and cool area of your kitchen. When you want to bake, you can see my environment that it's very clean. Do not have fish around you or chicken or meat, because whether you know it or not, some particles of those food items may enter your cake. And once you bake and you're tasting fish and you're tasting chicken, it has spoiled your cake. So ensure that your environment is clean and all your ingredients are ready at the right time. Now, we want to bake. What are the ingredients and what are we baking today? Today we are just baking a plain cake. We're going to go on in other videos for coconut cake, marble cake, fruit cake, until we get to icing and decorating. But for today, we're just going to bake a plain cake. What are the ingredients for our cake? We have butter, we have sugar, we have flour, we have eggs, we have baking powder, we have flavor, and for a little twist so that our cake can have a little color and just not cream, I have here some browning, which I'm going to show you how to put on. Now, I hope you have your paper and biro ready, because I'm now going to tell you the ingredients for the cake and the proper measurements that you need to have. Today, I'm going to bake a cake that is 250 grams. So I have 250 grams butter, I have 250 grams sugar, I have 250 grams flour, and I have 5 eggs. The rule in baking is that for every 50 grams you use 1 egg. So for 250 grams we're using 5 eggs, and for 250 grams cake, I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and I'm going to use 1 3/4 spoon of my flavor. Now we're going to start our baking. But before that, I want to explain to you, when you are using your scale for measuring, ensure that your demarcator for your scale is exactly 0. Put your bowl on it and ensure that you turn it here to be exactly on 0. Then you measure your butter, you keep it aside, wash your pan, you measure your sugar, keep it aside, wash your pan, and you measure your flour. By the time we are going to use our flour, I'll show you how to sieve, because you need to sieve the flour into the mixture. So we're going to start now. I do not want you to start your baking by using this Kenwood. I want to teach you how to bake manually. Once you are perfect with your manual baking, then you can go on to use your Kenwood, because it is possible that you want to bake and you do not have electricity supply. So you need to be able to bake in all circumstances. So this is why it's called baking for beginners. So I'm going to teach you how to mix your cake until it is white and fluffy, and then we'll go on from there. I've measured my 250 gram sugar and I've measured my 250 gram butter into the bowl. So I'm now going to mix until it's white and fluffy. At times, it may be better if you use a smaller bowl, because your mixture is small, so it's going to be easier for you to turn it. Usually the bigger the bowl for larger mixtures, but for this one I'm comfortable with this bowl. So I'm just going to mix the butter and the sugar together until it is white and fluffy, and you will see that the mixture will be so fine that you will not be able to say where is the butter, where is the sugar, because it would have all gone together. You're welcome back to Fumi's Kitchen Baking for Beginners. As you can see, I've mixed my cake mixture, my butter and my sugar, and it's nice, soft and fluffy. You can see you have to mix your cake until your mixture is a soft dropping consistency. That was how we were taught back in Queen's College in those days. So you can see my cake mixture, is now white, different from how it was in the beginning. So now I'm ready to add my egg and my flour, and I'm going to add it in bits. This is 5 eggs which I have beaten together. So I'm going to add it a little. Once I put in my egg, the direction in which I mix my cake must not change. I can't mix it like this and then go like this. So I always like this anti-clockwise direction, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm being careful to ensure the egg goes fully into the mixture, but make sure you do not overmix. Now I've already measured my flour, and I'm going to make sure that I sieve my flour into the mixture. That is the secret. Your flour must be sieved into your mixture. Again, I'm going to do it in bits, not at the same time. You raise your hand up so that air gets into your mixture, and then your cake comes out very soft and nice, not heavy. That is why you need to sieve in your flour into your mixture. You need to get a sieve that is very, very tiny, not the one that has big holes, but very, very tiny, that will be very good for your flour. As soon as I put that in, again maintaining my anti-clockwise direction, I mix my flour into my mixture. Again, very careful so that you do not overmix. I put in some more egg. Not all, because I'm going to do it 3 times. Again, some flour. Don't forget to maintain your anti-clockwise direction. Don't change. See our mixture. I have mixed all the butter, the sugar, the egg, and the flour. Now I'm going to put my baking powder. I'm going to add my baking powder and my flavor. And as soon as I'm going to start this, I have to cream my pan and put on my oven. Your oven should be on at least 5 minutes before you put your cake into the oven, so that the oven is already warm. Do not put your cake into a cold oven. So this is my pan. I have this brush. It's a paint brush. I use it only for for creaming my pan. So I've already done it before, but what I want to show you is you just put it in the butter and you make sure you cream all the corners of your pan everywhere, because if you do not cream your pan properly, your cake is going to stick, and when you want to remove it from the oven, it's going to be very difficult and you wouldn't like it. So I've already creamed my pan and sprinkled a little flour into it, so that when I want to bring out my cake, it's going to be very, very easy. You're going to see how it's going to come out. So I've already done that, but I just wanted to show you that this pan is already a creamed pan. So now, after mixing my flour and my egg, I want to put in my baking powder. And if you remember, I told you that the baking powder is 1.5 teaspoons. This is 1 teaspoon, and it's going to be level. So that is why I have my knife. You make sure that your baking powder is level, not heaped. Level. Level. I pour it into my mixture, and then I need 1.5. This is 1/2 teaspoon. I put it in there. I measure the baking powder before the flavor, because the baking powder is a dry ingredient, and I keep it away. Now I want to measure my flavor. For today I'm using butterscotch flavor, but you can use any flavor that you like. But I'm using a butterscotch flavor today. So this is 1 teaspoon. Don't forget I said I'm using 1/3 of flavor, so I now use half. And then I use 1/4. So that is 1/3. So I keep that aside as well. I'll show you how I'm going to use my browning, but for now, still in my anti-clockwise position. Now I'm going to add my browning. This is optional, so it's just because I don't want it to be too creamy. I want it to have some brown parts to the cake. Not too much, because browning is very effective. So I just drop it. I drop it in my mixture. And I'm not going to mix it all so that my cake is not all brown. So I'm just going to, you can see how it's coming out, so that my cake just looks like cream and brown. Cream and brown. So I want to be careful so that I don't make the cake all brown. So now I'm ready to put my cake in my pan. So, like I told you, I've already creamed my pan. Can you see inside the pan? Good. You can see how I'm putting it inside the pan, ensuring that all corners. Then when you are putting your cake in your pan, make sure that your mixture doesn't get to anything above half of your pan. Otherwise, your cake is going to overflow out of the pan, because the baking powder is a raising ingredient. It's an ingredient that raises your cake. So with that baking powder, you're going to see how our cake is going to rise. Can you see inside the pan that I've just put the cake like half of the pan? But you're going to see when the cake comes out that it's going to be almost a full pan, and that is because of the baking powder. So normally you don't waste this. I'm going to put this later into a smaller cake tin and put it into the oven. Now look at the time. It's like 20 minutes to 4. I can assure you that our cake is going to be out in about 1 hour. So time it. This is my oven, and I'm putting my cake in the middle of the oven. I've put my cake on my oven to number 1. But the most important thing is that you need to just put your hand in your oven and be sure that your oven is warm, not extremely hot, but warm. So let's give our cake 1 hour and then we'll check it off, and I'm sure you'll be able to taste and eat it over the internet. The cake is ready. It took us about 1 hour 20 minutes. Now, to know that your cake is ready, you put a knife in your cake, and when it comes out, it has to be clean. I've already done that and the knife was clean. You need to use your oven mitts so that you don't burn yourself in the oven. Now I want to bring out my cake from the pan. You can see that as I'm putting up the cake is lifting. Can you see it lifting? Yes. It's lifting from the pan. So now I'm going to do this. I have to remove this so that it's easier for me. I do this and turn my cake. That's the bottom of my cake. And now I'm going to remove it and put another tray on top so that I see the top of my cake. So that is my ready-made cream cake. I'm going to cut a bit of it so that you can see how it looks on the inside. Now you can see our cake, so soft. You can see the marble. Because I put some browning in it, you can see what it looks like. I'm now going to have my cake with a bit of ice cream. So that is my cake. I'm now going to have some of my cake with ice cream. Bon appetit! So with this we come to the end of our first Baking for Beginners class. Watch out for more cake videos. We're going on to coconut cake, pineapple upside down cake, chocolate cake, carrot cake, fruit cake, and then we go on to decorating our cakes. Thank you for being with me today on my very first YouTube video. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'm sure you've enjoyed learning how to make a nice homemade cake with very simple ingredients, and you can have it for dessert, you can have it as a snack, you can put it in the fridge, you can give it to your guests and enjoy your cake. Now my channel is going to be for life in general. It's going to be for women, it's going to be for children, it's going to be for men as well. So this channel, this YouTube channel, is for life. It's for families, it's for young ladies, it's for young men, it's for any age in particular. It's going to address life. I'm going to be addressing emotional issues, I'm going to be addressing financial issues, I'm going to be addressing educational issues, so you can see that it embraces the whole family. Whatever is topical will be coming up on this channel. Thank you for watching. I remain Funmilayo, Onafowokan. God bless you and enjoy yourselves.